Hey everybody, it's me, Jen, and I'm nothing if not intense. Hey, I'm jumping right into this. We're back at the L bracket. What if I were to tell you that Stephen Paddock did not put that L bracket on that door, but Mandalay Bay security did? So, the bracket was not placed there to keep officers or security from coming through that stairwell and entering the 32nd floor. That bracket was put there by Mandalay Bay security to keep whomever was on the 32nd floor from escaping through that stairwell. What the hell? No wonder this never, ever made sense. And for a long time, I called complete bullshit on the bracket even being there. So I do apologize for that, but I knew there's something funky about it. It never made sense. Not one bit of sense. So I discovered in body cam footage where they're saying Mandalay Bay security put that L bracket there, not Stephen Paddock. So what does that do to the narrative? Especially when the L bracket basically was the reason Jesus Campos got shot. So if the whole story surrounding it is bullshit, which it is, which I'm calling, which I've called a long time ago, but I was just a little bit off, it's a pretty important detail that they're just lying their faces off about. So I'm going to take you through a few things. And what I've discovered with the body cam is if you watch it and you wear headphones, holy shiza, you get so much more audio. Some of the stuff, it's just crazy. So some of this might be a little bit hard to hear. So I will put the links for the videos that I used as source videos in the description. So check those out, wear headphones and listen to this stuff because it makes a huge difference. So the first thing we're going to look at is when 159 Sam Easy and his partner enter the center core there on floor 32. They had come from the strip. They run in, and he's kind of a clickety-clackety. He's got a rifle. But they're going to talk to somebody in that center core, and he basically asks them, do we have access to that room? Or something to that effect. And this person that starts talking, I think, is maybe the engineering supervisor, that Shannon Alsbury, who's supposedly supposed to be in that 32nd floor center core, because he doesn't look like security. He's not dressed like security, because either they're in suits, black suits, or they're in their uniform like Jesus has on, or they're wearing yellow shirts and black pants. This guy's got like jeans on and a polo or something like that. So I think he's a maintenance guy. I don't know if he's the supervisor or not, but he's maintenance, I'm pretty sure. But what he proceeds to tell the officer is that apparently, according to Jesus, security put an L bracket on that door in the foyer, so the person shooting would not have access to leave through that stairwell. Now, at a certain point, 159 Sam Easy just decides to spin that story into, we can't get into that room down there because it's barricaded. It's barricaded. It's barricaded. That is totally not what that maintenance guy said. Not in any way, shape, or form. But again, that's how they start spinning it. So let's take a look at that. Okay, in a few seconds, we're going to hear what this guy has to say.
I don't know if it's a pellet or a 22 or... We had access to this room. The room's at the end of the hallway, and apparently, from what he was saying, they put a bracket up on the stairwell door. My copy was definitely about 100, on 32 floor. And it's you look down the hallway to the last room, double doors.
Is there any way else to get in there besides down this hallway?
Say what?
Is there any other way to get down there to it?
There's a stairwell on every single floor, but they've got it bracketed off.
What?
Now, this is video of Hendrix and Varson in the stairwell on 31, and this is when the peanut gallery comes through. Bitsko and Levi Hancock. Now, the one guy with the rifle that comes through and kind of stays down near Hendrix, he's a chatty Cathy. He was with Matchko. But Matchko's not in with these guys. Like, when they first get on the elevator, Bitsko divides them up. 4 go with me, the 4 up front go with Matchko, the 4 in the back go with me. Well, the guy with the rifle that comes through and stops and beside Hendrix, he was originally with Matchko. So I don't know if Matchko's whole team, except for him, is now hooked up with Bitsko and Hancock and Newton. I think they are. So what Matchko was doing, I don't know. Because then he pops down there at the end after the door's breached. They come out, there he is. So what he was doing in the meantime, I do not know. But you're going to hear now at one point, little chatty Cathy whispers to Hendrix, he shot through the peephole and hit a security guard. Then a few minutes later, when Hancock and Bitsko and them guys are getting ready to go through that door, he kind of yells up there, hey, he didn't bracket that door. Security did. And I think it was Levi that said, who? He said, security said that they bolted that door, or something to that effect. And it's just like, oh my gosh. So let's take a listen. They're going to all come traipsing through. And I think you're going to hear Chatty Cathy say, whisper to Hendrix that, he shot through a peephole and hit a security guard.
Somebody take that light off. Kill it. Can we kill that light? This one? Yes. Yeah.
Okay, it's this guy right here. He's our little chatty Cathy.
Barricade that and said that they bolted it. They bolted it closed. The security said they did, but I didn't think that that's the point. Anything to pull that?
So he says security said that they bolted it. He didn't do it. Security said that they did it, which unbelievable. So let's take a listen to Sheriff Joe. And this was just recently, I think, a radio interview, either this month or last month. And he's going to talk a little bit about the L bracket, per se. So the host basically asks him about some video that came out with an officer that hesitated and that was in total fear, and I believe that he was talking about Officer Hendricks when they were going down the 31st floor down that hallway, and they heard the gunfire, and he's just like pooping his pants. So here's Lombardo's blah 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 about that.
You know, you hear automatic gunfire, you don't know how many assailants there are, you don't know exactly where the assailant is located. Some things that the public is not privy to that I'm comfortable mentioning is you have to recall that the doorway at the 32nd floor was barricaded, and it required us to wait for an individual to breach the door with the tools, and other things that were unknown is...
So that door was barricaded, and they had to wait for SWAT with special tools. They didn't use a freaking tool on that. They pulled it. Their arm was the tool because it was, you know, it wasn't anything that was going to block out anybody with any type of strength. It would deter somebody. It would make them stop. And that's about it. And it would certainly hamper somebody wanting to escape through that stairwell. So again, that was the wonderful sheriff, dripping with sarcasm, stating and lying his face off about the L bracket. Because it's pretty clear to me that people in the know there at Mandalay Bay, like that maintenance guy, is saying security said that they did it. Security bolted it closed. Security put that L bracket up there so the shooter wouldn't have access to that room. That one word gets covered in that initial when he's talking to 159 Sam Easy, but basically he's saying they put it up so they wouldn't have access to get through that stairwell. So again, to me, this is very significant because if you look at it in the narrative, that L bracket was, you know, what made Jesus have to come back down through the 32nd floor hallway, and that's when he got shot. So if that L bracket hadn't been there, you know, maybe things would have been different. I have my druthers again about Jesus even being shot, number one, and if he was, I don't believe it happened on the 32nd floor. I'm going to go into that a little bit more because that body cam of 159 Sam Easy, what I showed you, the two little things where that guy is saying how they bracketed the door and stuff, there's a whole lot more going on in there because that guy is like calling over the radio to Jesus when Jesus is a couple feet away from him. So I found that very, very strange. It talks about the crystal room, which that came up in the police dispatch logs, that there was a shooter in there. And then a little bit further in, a few minutes later, that same maintenance guy is talking about there's somebody in the basement. There's a crazy guy in the basement with no shirt on. Another shooter, basically. So when you listen with your headphones, you're going to get so much more. So I hope you guys like this. Comment, share, subscribe. Trolls, you know, get some new material because the mental idiot, retarded drug thing is getting old. So, I mean, you guys are pathetic. But anyways, thanks so much for listening, and I'm going to try my hardest to stay on some type of schedule with uploading stuff because I have so much stuff that I want to talk about. So I hope everybody's doing well, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks so much. Come on.